Asset forfeiture in drug crime cases. How property is seized in Texas and when you can get it back. If you've been arrested for a drug offense in Texas, the consequences don't just stop at jail time or fines. You could also lose your car, cash, home, or other property, even if you've never been convicted. This is all thanks to a controversial process called civil asset forfeiture. In drug crime cases, Texas law allows the government to seize property it believes is connected to criminal activity, and the burden of getting it back, it falls on you. In this video, we'll break down how asset forfeiture works in Texas drug cases, what kinds of property can be taken, and how an experienced attorney near you can help you fight to get it back. What is asset forfeiture? It's a legal process where the government seizes property it claims is connected to a crime, usually before you've even been found guilty. It's used most often in drug-related cases where police allege that property was bought with drug proceeds, used to commit a drug crime, intended to conceal or transport drugs. Asset forfeiture in Texas can happen through either criminal forfeiture as part of your criminal case, or civil forfeiture, a separate case even without a conviction. Most drug-related forfeitures in Texas are civil cases, which makes them harder to challenge and easier for the state to win. So what property can be seized? The list is long, and Texas law is broad about what's fair game. Commonly seized items in drug cases include cash, even a few $100s, vehicles such as cars, trucks, motorcycles, cell phones and electronics, firearms, homes, or bank accounts, anything suspected of being purchased with drug money. You don't have to be caught in the act. If law enforcement believes the property is linked to drugs, they can take it. For example, if you're pulled over with $2,500 in cash in the car, along with a few pills not in a prescription bottle, even if you were never charged or convicted, the police may seize your cash under the theory that it was intended for drug trafficking. This often happens during traffic stops. See my videos and posts about driving with drugs in your car, what you need to know for how these scenarios unfold. What is the legal basis for seizure? The legal framework for civil asset forfeiture in Texas comes from Chapter 59 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. It allows the state to initiate forfeiture proceedings if they can show the property was used in the commission of a felony under the Texas Controlled Substances Act, is proceeds from or used to promote drug activity, it was acquired through money laundering. The standard of proof in these cases is preponderance of the evidence, which is much lower than the criminal standard of beyond a reasonable doubt. Translation: the state only has to show it's more likely than not that your property was linked to drugs. Do you have to be convicted? No. That's what makes civil asset forfeiture so controversial. In Texas, the government can take your property even if you're never charged with a crime. Your charges are dropped, you're acquitted at trial. The forfeiture case proceeds separately from your criminal case, and you'll need to fight both to clear your name and get your property back. What happens after property is seized? Here's what typically happens. You're arrested or searched in a drug investigation. Police seize items they believe are connected to the crime. A forfeiture notice is filed in civil court, often without notifying you first. You have just 20 days to respond after receiving formal notice. A court hearing is scheduled to determine whether the state keeps your property. If you don't respond or miss deadlines, the property is forfeited by default, even if you were innocent. This is why it is critical to speak with a defense lawyer immediately after a seizure. Can you get your property back? Yes, but it's not automatic. You'll need to file a claim and challenge the forfeiture in court. To win a civil forfeiture case, you typically have to prove the property was not used in connection with a drug crime. You were not aware of any illegal use, especially if, for example, you loaned your car or rented property to someone. The property was lawfully acquired and not purchased with drug money. If successful, the court can order your property returned, but the process is complex, time-sensitive, and highly technical, which is why most people need a lawyer to have a real shot at this. What if the property belongs to someone else? If your car, home, or money was seized, even if it wasn't yours, the rightful owner may be able to contest the forfeiture by filing an innocent owner claim. They'll need to show they didn't know the property was being used for illegal purposes. They didn't consent to the illegal use. This happens frequently when, for example, a child is arrested while driving a parent's car, a roommate is caught with drugs in a shared apartment, a spouse or partner is involved in illegal activity that the other partner does not know about. Forfeiture proceedings can entangle innocent people who had no connection to the alleged drug crime. Can the government keep your money without a conviction? Yes, and they often do. According to civil asset forfeiture data in Texas, over $50 million in property is seized every year. A large portion of it is never challenged or returned. Much of it is seized in drug-related cases where no charges are filed. Sometimes the owner makes the calculated decision to not claim ownership of the items because it might make a criminal conviction much more likely. This whole process is legal under current Texas law, but highly criticized. It's one of the biggest reasons people with seized property should talk to a lawyer as soon as possible. What can a criminal defense attorney do to help? If you've had property taken during a drug investigation, you need an attorney who understands both criminal and civil court systems. A defense lawyer can review whether the search and seizure was legal, challenge probable cause in the criminal case, file the necessary documents to contest the forfeiture. They can represent you at the forfeiture hearing and help negotiate the return of seized property. They can help coordinate your criminal defense and the civil response. If your case involves serious drug charges, the stakes are even higher. If your car, cash, or property was seized in connection with a Texas drug case, you only have a short window to act, and doing nothing means the government could keep it forever.